Yeah, at the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Anna Bhattacharya for inviting me to this conference. I thought I would be with you for all the days, but unfortunately, for some reasons, I am unable to travel and then be with you. Uh, Thank you very much for your patient hearing for next 40 minutes. Uh, for last 3 days, you had a lot of exchange of ideas, and then now I am just trying to um, place some of my ideas before you. Nowadays, I'm arguing for new knowledge creation. With that idea, I would like to place Sanskrit computational linguistics a way forward. I call it Hanumadavalokanam. Hanuman is a character in Ramayana that we all know. Avalokanam is his perception, his vision. Uh, you know, uh, in Kishkindha Kanda, when Hanuman and his colleagues went for searching Sita, then they see the obstacle, a big obstacle, that is ocean. So ocean was a challenge for them to reach Lanka. And then Lanka was totally unbreakable. It was totally protected. Lot of obstacles. How to reach? You know, when in order to reduce the size of that obstacle, Hanuman grows himself. He has grown himself. And when he faced the challenge, when he saw the ocean, it was very small. And then Hanuman could visualize his goal clearly, and he could assess the obstacles, their strengths and weaknesses, and he could also see his challenge smaller in form. That means today we are living in the age of artificial intelligence, and we are the people who come from Shastric background, and today's technology has grown into the level where we cannot imagine the level of uh, the power of systems. And system can, based on large language models, system can produce anything, system can imagine anything, system can create anything which is beyond our imagination. So in this era, what sort of research we should really envisage, what sort of studies we should conduct, that's the question we may face. Many a times we would tend to compete with the technological world. And that sort of competition will not only create confusion within us, and it will also add some big challenges to reach our goals. Therefore, we should be carefully examining the current trends of research, and then how to equip ourselves to reach our goal. That's the uh, whole objective of my talk today. As all of us know, our Indian Shastric heritage has a lot to contribute to the world. We have big repository with us. Some some of the texts, some of the knowledge repositories are available in the form of text, published, printed, e-form. Most of them are not available, not accessible even today. So with that situation, what we should really do, we are a small community, and small community We are, if you consider we are Vanarasena, Vanarasena was a small community. And in fact, it is Vanarasena was uh, not capable of uh, leaping the ocean and crossing the ocean, but they could do so. So, what exactly should be our objective of our research? And in this current uh, new trends of AI systems, what really we should aspire for? That is the question I'm keeping before me. So with that, if we look at the past and present situation of SCL studies, in 80s, it was dawn of SCL, Sanskrit like computational linguistics, and efforts turned into Indian language, machine translation projects, and then we can see the development of Sanskrit morphological analyzers in many places. And next decade, we could see data preparation, tagging schemes, language research, and then in big way, we had Sanskrit Hindi machine translation system developed by headed by Amba Kulkarni, and Anusaraka approach and many other approaches, and people built toy systems and tiny projects. And then when time passed, then we can see next decade different approaches. A lot of statisticals approach and neurological language models, and then Ashtadhyayi stimulation. And we can also see the development of digital dictionaries and corporas. So this is the uh, range of work that has been done in this field. And then we can also see multilingual approach based on Paninian model. This was another um, approach initiated by Anusaraka. Then later on, many people accepted this model. But when we come to 22, 23, AI systems based on large language model pose some questions about all our efforts, whether we should continue the same model, or we should look for something else, or we should also enter into the AI systems and we should throw out all the throw this all our rule based understanding of language, and then we should just give up this all this of researches, and then we should enter into large language models, and then build some sort of new systems for Sanskrit and for other Indian languages. This is the question. And when we keep this question, uh, we can see what are the current issues. Then I'll place my own ideas with you. See, small research community and big expectations from the society and other Sanskrit community also. We are in a small chunk, but expectations are set in big way. Sanskrit, because new education policy has brought so many ideas on the table of discussion. One is Sanskrit connects all languages. It is a clear interlingua. It can function as interlingua. And Sanskrit grammar is robust and it could be model for other Indian language grammars. And computational grammar models for all Indian languages. Translations to and from Sanskrit, and it is inadequate. And we can also see the Google and other efforts, and which have totally failed to address the core issues. So now huge content is expected, and machine translation is failing to really address the issues. And new challenges are to whole research community has a great attraction towards AI systems, huge language models, large language models, are now created. And if you see, look at the Sanskrit language, and no large language models are, no data is available. And then when you look at the research community, it has developed a fear of decrease of linguistic studies and research. So these are the challenges we can see in the current trends. Now, what are the possible solutions? What should be the focus area that we should really focus on? According to me, we should focus on, always I would say, nakra swasthanam asadya gajendram api karshati. We should understand our own strengths, where we are good and where we are not, and what is our uh, not only strength, but what is our objective. So with that perception, with that idea, when you look at our research fields, I would like to focus on these four areas. One, language and literature, heritage and history, Shastra and science, integration of AI and RI, artificial intelligence and rule-based intelligence. So these four areas we can focus and we can work upon for next 1 decade. Because many of these areas, though there were demands, people did not focus on them. The small communities worked on the same problem for longer period, and they did not take up any new areas for their work. And some efforts are repeated. 3, 4 small communities are working, small groups are working on the same problem. And there's no much sharing, no collaborative approach. With that, we are not really producing any big result, impactful result in these areas. Therefore, I would like to propose to focus on only these four areas: languages and literature, where the research is still continued, and people demand, there is a demand for tools and technologies. For example, Indian languages are, there is a linkage between Sanskrit and Indian languages is in demand through technology. How? People know. And word sense disambiguation, Indian languages as well as Sanskrit could help. Discourse analysis, it's a big question. Again, there are some efforts, we should continue the efforts. Contextualized Sanskrit segmentation is still a problem, along with Samasa analysis. Whether this could generate only a kind of, I don't know whether a clear solution will be available in near future, but this effort will make us, strong to address so many other issues. So I also believe in one nation and one dictionary. Sanskrit could serve as a central idea, granthi. So content annotation of Sanskrit and other Indian language literatures, because there are today we are celebrating Ramayana. Thousands of Ramayanas are available in Indian languages, including Sanskrit. Whether we are able to connect them, how to connect them. So connecting the literatures and comprehensive tax set for Indian languages, it is still under preparation, as we all of us know. So with this, with focusing on these fields, we can really contribute something big. And similarly, in history and heritage, in this field, scholars' tools are not available. There are many tools, but scholars' tool for authoring and commenting, manuscripts to man e-script, machine-assisted editing tool is not available. Annotating manuscripts and archaeological materials and ancient literature, etc., together. I mean, I want to connect ancient literature, Ramayana, archaeological materials available uh, about Ramayana, and then manuscripts. Can we connect all these three together? We don't have any such facilitation. Tools for integration of discarded material for understanding next generation. These are the discarded materials, the diverse materials. Can we connect them and place before the younger generation so that they can really do some better research? Identification of available resources on net. Huge resources are available on net, but we are not we are unable to identify them in proper way for at least Sanskrit and Indian languages. So integration of Pali, Prakrit, Sanskrit. This is also another important area that we should focus. Art heritage of India is really underestimated. So art heritage of India with articulation, synthesizing language articulations, that means literature, art forms and artifacts, etc. This is also another area. So basically, my focus is on keeping the history and heritage preserved in the technology age. We are not, who will develop the tools for these areas? And then third one is very important area, Shastras. Shastras connected to modern sciences. Tools for reducing the complexity of Shastras. Our Shastric texts are highly complex. People cannot read them on face. We need to develop tools for reducing the complexity of reading of Shastras. Recently, with my own efforts, when I shared some of my ideas with Dr. Sai Susarla and his team, I think in 2015 and 16, they have developed one method, Shastra mapping method and tools. And I think they may come up with Shastra mapping tools very soon. This is also one of the areas that we need to focus on. And the seamless integration from Shastra to modern sciences. Very clear integration we should develop through some sort of paribhashas. How to do that? People should invest time on that. As well of us know, question answer systems are uh, very much attractive for young generation. Can we develop for Shastric domains? And domain specific LLM based systems. This is possible because today yoga is one of such areas. People are largely attracted towards yoga and yoga literature. This domain specific large language model based systems are yet to be developed. Can we develop that? That too in Indian languages. Connecting Shastras with modern knowledge domains and so on. So we need to develop new models based on various Shastric disciplines for yoga, for understanding of Vedanta, and then Buddhist text, and then so apart from technical subjects, there is a huge demand for soft sciences in India. So philosophy, psychology, education, in all these areas, can we develop new models through technologies? So I'm coming to the main idea of mine, how to create new Shastra, how technology can help to create new Shastric discipline. It is not just about thinking and addressing certain problems. Using tools, using technologies, can I come up with a new discipline of Shastra? Because today's challenges are different, problems are different. I have my own worldview developed from our Shastric discipline? Using that worldview, can I develop new discipline of Shastra to address the current problems and challenges? Whether the technological tools will help me to develop that. This question, this sort of expectation is set by a Shastric traditional Pandit. Now, AI systems built on LLM have taken over all areas. Today, language is not a barrier; it's a vehicle. So many years we were addressing in computational linguistics, language is a barrier. That is gone now. No more language is no more a barrier. It is now a vehicle. So, so our perception has changed now. Long back, we were thinking every introduction to language in our computational linguistic field, language was placed as a barrier. And of course, never ever Indian thinkers said language as a barrier. But now people have come to the same idea. Language is not a barrier, it is a vehicle. And based on our rule-based intelligence systems that we know already, they shall be integrated with AI systems in order to reduce the gaps. How to do that? Can we create new blended shastras, like new literary criticism discipline? New literary criticism discipline. I can study movies. I can study modern plays. I can study modern current days novels, and then come back and create a new literary criticism discipline based on my Dhvani Shastra of Anandavardhana. So all this could be possible, but I don't know, because I don't have any equipment to look at the current data. If the tools will help me to develop certain problem, to develop certain fixed problems, I can address through my Dhvani Shastra. So whether tools will be helpful for this? Can we produce the new Shastric disciplines with the background of Panini and Kapila and Patanjali and Anandavardhana? Can we envisage to write new age sutras? I don't know. I'm just placing these questions before you. You are the right persons to think over. And then when you want to create new Shastra, what is Shastra we need to understand? Just I wanted to share with you. Shastra is a collection of those statements which describe some sort of instruments. I mean, means of some objectives that are not ascertained by any other means of cognition. I mean, we don't get those ideas from any other places to obtain certain results which is not achievable from any other source. So this kind of Shastric discipline we need to develop. And our ancient Shastric discipline, when we look at, Laghava is achieved. I mean, it should be very brief, like Panini. And how to develop a brief sutras based on our current problems. And so basically, when we look at the function of Shastra, there are two things we can see. Lakshana Karana, basically defining the objects and connecting them, reorganizing them. This is the function of Shastra. Defining the objects and then organizing them in a particular way. That is the Shastra Karya. So one is abstraction and another is classification. The Lakshana Karana is of two kinds. One is abstraction and another is classification of objects. So abstraction is also one kind of, it's a kind of identification of some properties. When we abstract things, we look at some properties which are abstraction. And we look at, when we do classify, and when we come up with classification, we look at the properties which classify the objects. Basically, we're looking at some common properties and some special properties, some uh, very specific features. So, and then we are connecting them. So we can see how Panini has uh, done abstraction. So all the varnas are just collection. After looking at that, he found some similarities between some varnas, and then he could develop 6 categories. And these 6 categories will help us to understand varna, whole varna community. So in groups. So this is what we should apply in every problem, any problem. And we should connect them. Shastra does connect them with the two basic relations. Only two basic relations. One is Karya Karana Bhava and another is Vyapti. Vyapti is a sort of relation where we can see concomitance. Two have relation, but it is not Karya Karana Bhava. As we have example of no, hot air and hot sun. When hot sun is shining in the sky, then hot air is spread everywhere. So hot air and hot sun, we can. It is sometimes it looks like Karyakarana Bhava is there, but without Karyakarana Bhava also we can see that is called Vyapti. When we uh, feel hot air, we can feel there is a hot sun outside. So this is Vyapti. So I don't go into the details, but there are so many ideas that are given by our Shastras. Can we use them and take and using big data, data source, and connecting these ideas, can we create new Shastric discipline? That was my question. So for Shastra creation, normally objects are taken from 3 sources. One is Lokata Siddha. I mean, they are available in the Loka. That means data is available. And Shastra Siddha. That means discipline again can, for numbers in mathematics. Numbers in mathematics. They are not just Loka Siddha. They are also uh, you know, defined by mathematics. And Shastrantara Siddha. That means we have defined objects in other Shastras, we can take them. So keeping all these 3 together, we can work out and resolve the issues. So we have so many pramanas and then validation of pramanas, and then logic and tantra yuktis and proof by contradiction, lokas nyaya sanchara, prevalent common parameters of our understanding. With all these, we can create, but katham bhav, we don't know how to do that. The current situation is this. We have abundant knowledge, abundant resources, but yet we are keeping them in this way, and we are trying to look at the world in this fashion. I don't know, it doesn't matter how many resources we have. If we don't know how to use them, they will never be enough. So we have Ashtadashi Vidyasthanas, we have Indic classification of knowledge disciplines, just to tell you, so we have resources in many ways. For example, I tell you, Jnata and Jnaya and Jnana. These are the 3 areas that we can classify. Jnata, observer. No, I am observer. With observer point of view, if you look at the world, we have disciplines like human sciences, education, psychology, because observer is very important there. Leadership, administration, management, wellness. So observer-centered disciplines. Then we have observed-centered disciplines like objective sciences like physical sciences, life sciences, engineering, technology, architect, ecology. All these are observed centric disciplines, and other disciplines are knowledge centric disciplines. Observation, that is linguistics, mathematics, logic, knowledge. So automation of science, epistemology. All these areas are knowledge centric disciplines. So if we classify our Indian disciplines like this, and keeping these 3 points into the center point, can we again connect these to the modern disciplines and then come up with new ideas? This is just an idea of mapping. Today we are discussing about Indian knowledge systems, Indian integration of Indian knowledge systems to the modern disciplines. We should identify these areas and work. For that, I have some basic idea that we need to encode the knowledge, not the. So we need to. When I looked at our Shastras, I found that one is Sangati and another one is Tantra Yuktis. Yesterday, I think you had a lecture on uh, Tatparya Lingas, Tatparya, how to get the purport of a text. Then we have Sangatis, we have Tantra Yuktis. So we have so many Tatparya Lingas. Keeping these connectors in view, we should try to encode the knowledge, not the just text. We should come out of text encoding initiatives. Just text encoding initiatives are the beginning of the of any linguistic effort, but we should go for mission knowledge creation. For that, text encoding to knowledge encoding, use Tantrayuktis and Sangatis, connect the huge knowledge repositories of Sanskrit and Indian languages. We should really work on Indian languages because there are many people who are working on English, but our focus should be on Indian languages. Knowledge will create new knowledge. This is very important. Only knowledge will create new knowledge. I mean that today we are focusing on the text and we can only create texts. Texts are not knowledge. AI will be useful for knowledge creation. That's the assumption. And rule based intelligence will create knowledge, and knowledge can create knowledge, not the text. Text can create the text. So, Sanskrit knowledge texts are structured texts. They will be great resources for knowledge creation mission. So, I place before you mission knowledge creation for next 1 decade. With that, I just wanted to let some of the new researchers from other countries know that there are new opportunities in Sanskrit studies, basically technology approach, technology assisted research. I want to introduce my own university and many other institutions in India. We have Central Sanskrit University is a central university with accreditation of NAC at A++ level. We have 13 campuses, and we are largest language university in India. We are also nodal agency for Government of India for promotion of Sanskrit studies and research. And we are well connected with IITs and IIMs and higher education institutions in India. We have open and online programs for Sanskrit and allied subjects. Support is available for collaborative projects and studies and research in multidisciplinary areas involving Sanskrit. We are also open for signing an MOU with faculty for faculty exchange and twin programs. So what I want to say is doors are open in India to all as a learning destination. I want to propose one more idea, which is very important for after this symposium. I think our mentors, Professor Gerard Hewitt and Professor Ambal Kulkarni and many others may be present here. they are present here, and we should really, it is the right time to bring all researchers on one platform. A common platform for mutual cooperation and collaboration is to be created. I propose to establish a new common platform for Sanskrit computational linguistic researchers, where linguists, Shastra scholars, technologists, developers, scientists can share their resources, create new tools, cooperate and collaborate with for multidisciplinary projects. This shall be open for all, and sharing is the only way to saving our knowledge and heritage. So may SCL community work like Vanara Sena to bridge the long ocean. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. So this was my proposal. I know, it's just to share some of my ideas with you, and you may have many other ideas. Thank you very much for sparing time.
Thank you very much, Professor.
You're not audible.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
No sound from your side.
Can you hear me? 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me, Professor Varakhedi?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Professor Varakhedi, thank you very much for sharing your insights with us. Now, are there any questions in the audience? Yes.
Namaste, Dr. Varakhedi. This is Shiv Kumar from Indica. It's a very visionary presentation. Thank you very much for that. I have one enabling related question. Do you think we have enough number of people who are engaged with Shastras and in general Sanskrit in the nation to be able to achieve the kind of vision that you have stated? If not, don't we need a national mission for Sanskrit so that right now we begin an appreciation at lower levels much more so that we can funnel a greater number of people with higher order abilities over a decade?
Yeah, very nice. It's really a good idea. As I say, enough number of people are available. Because number of students uh, is continuously increasing in Sanskrit studies. I am here in the last 3 decades, at least 2.5 decades, and the increase of number, but they don't. There's a lack of training and clarity about what to do. If we can if we can really create an environment and training environment, and then place a um, you know big dream. For example, when India started the projects like Chandrayaan, where were the people? Where were the people? And where were the resources? With 2 decades, we could do that. Because it was a national project. It was a national dream. So today, if it is the source of our strength, then knowledge is our source. When we believe in this, we have good manpower, and we should train them, we should bring them together for this mission. That's what I want to say.
Thank you. Yes, madam.
Thank you, Varakhedi ji, for nice presentation. And also sharing with us your vision regarding, I like the term AI and RI, the artificial intelligence and rule-based intelligence. So here what we really need to do is we need a huge amount of data. And this data can be created by our own students when they learn specific disciplines. So I think we should take this opportunity to, in the undergraduate level itself, if students are introduced to the analysis process, which is an application of Vyakarana to their own discipline. Suppose somebody is reading Sahitya, maybe he may be asked to do the analysis of that Sahitya text at various levels, and that annotated data then can be useful for developing discipline-specific language models. And this can be taken up as one of the projects at university level. There are several universities. Yours is the biggest university, and there are several Sanskrit universities. Once you start, I'm sure others will follow you. So that is one suggestion. Regarding the platform, this Sanskrit Computational Linguistics Symposium, I think itself is a platform where we come together and share our knowledge, where it's a platform for the Sanskrit scholars, computational linguists, and of course, the Indian language part is still missing here. The Sanskrit computational linguists are there, and the Sanskrit scholars, they come together, and we hold this symposium, and we see that various research groups in India and abroad are really collaborating with each other. If we see yesterday's presentations, one presentation was by Professor Kurt-Kurzer's students and a group. It's not just his students, it is a group which is where Oliver Helwig from Germany, his students, Kurt-Kurzer, and Dr. Pavan Goyal's students from IIT Kharagpur, all of them are collaborating, and they have brought this, they have developed this language, large language model for Sanskrit to English translation system. And we see that all of us are sharing our knowledge. All the resources are available, but they are available not, as you say, under one repository. Maybe we can think of SCL as one repository where the knowledge system, all the resources are available and people can share with each other. A common place for repositing the GitHub-like place we can think of. So thank you for your vision, sharing your vision, and these are some of my suggestions.
Thank you, Amba.
Yeah. Thank you very much, madam. That for Sanskrit, this domain-specific large language model creation, we can really offer some support if anyone wants to take up project and in consortium mode, and we'll also participate. We'll also ask our students to work on those projects as interns, then we can develop. And if anyone wants to really take up, definitely we would be supportive.
Thank you.
Namaskar, Varakhedi ji, a wonderful view for the future. Sanjay Singhal from Dharohar. I think one of the things which we forget in a forum like this is the phenomenal work and knowledge which is available in our Gurukuls. So if you look at Nyaya Shastra, the best teaching and the best education and the best research in Nyaya Shastra is happening in Goa under Patil Guruji. So there is also a need to integrate these non-traditional, or should I say non-formal education institutions into this effort, because if new knowledge has to be created, we need some brilliant people working on it, and many of them we need to recognize, particularly in Sanskrit, they reside outside of the formal education system. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for suggestions.
Namaste Acharya. Arjunoham. I have a small question to you. Do you think, I mean, we see these kind of activities are happening every now and then, but still the Sanskrit community is not yet open to these kind of platforms. Because of you, I came to this particular field, and I continued my research in this area. Like that, there are only few Sanskrit scholars who are into this. So, what do you think the reason for not opening up?
See, Arjun, what I think is people don't get excited. There is really, we didn't communicate in a big way. If some mission is envisaged, if mission is properly communicated, then people get excited about it. Today, we are not, we somewhere we need to do introspection. Somewhere we have not properly communicated what exactly we are doing. The second point is the currently what we are doing is not a mission kind of thing. It is machine translation is achieved by many other ways, and your all sort of your tools are achieved through other modes and other technologies. People are not excited about it. People will get excited about only those projects, those missions, which are not achievable in any other mode, any other way. Then people get engaged in that. Today, whole science community, including a small boy, I was really wondering, including a school boy studying science, will get excited about Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan. Why? It is not that that school boy can do something, but it is that he thinks that it is his science, his studies are contributing to the development of missiles, and ultimately it is shooting the Chandrayaan. And launching Chandrayaan is an excitement for the entire nation. And similarly, we should bring such a mission so that everybody get excited, then people will work for us. Really, I'm looking for such things in my own university, how to really inspire people with a mission mode project. What is that? We, as a community, we should really identify such project and such mission. Then we should properly communicate the idea of mission to the people.
Namaste, sir. Sukhada here. Though we have been in contact and you being very busy, we could not continue the projects that we were talking about. But now again, I'll come back to you, and I promise that if the infrastructural support is provided to the young learners, students, then probably from the basic level, we can filter out the brilliant students and they can take it forward to the higher levels. So I'm very hopeful and thankful for this talk that you have given today. Thank you so much. We'll come back to you. Yeah.
Thank you, Sukha.
Hello. So, Varakhedi Mohoday, thank you very much. It's an extremely nice vision that you have put in and the mission. Now, one thing which you said has caught me. you're saying a schoolboy is interested in Chandrayaan. That is true. Now, how can a schoolboy be interested in Sanskrit? Because schoolboys are not even taught Sanskrit. And the way Sanskrit is taught in most schools is to ensure that the schoolboy will never like Sanskrit. So, so basically it's actually doing more damage by trying to teach Sanskrit in the way of just memorizing Sabdaroops and Dhaturoops. So one suggestion, I'm not sure how we can handle it, but at the national level, we have to catch them at much younger level, probably much at the school level, not even bachelor. So I'm not sure how we can do it, but if you have some thoughts on this, that we should percolate the school, probably have a new board, because CBSE, ICSE, all of them have their own structures, etc. Can we have these school boards that we can have the curriculum and the methodology in our hand? So yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Actually, we are also thinking in similar way. Nowadays, we, in education field, we started because all, this starts with the teachers training. In teachers, because what happened, even my own university and other universities, what I find is difficulty lies with the teachers, not with the students. Students are coming with new ideas, and they are new generation. They are born with laptops. They are born with mobiles, and but the teachers are the hurdles. Teachers are the obstacles. Teachers are the barrier. So one generation will go away now. That generation will go away. I'm not criticizing the old age people. That's not the idea. But that's how the whole community is trained. Therefore, that training is the problem. And now we cannot change everyone. What we can see is, next generation teachers training is the really crux. And if we work there, so today we are totally changing the teachers training platforms, curriculum, and this 4-year integrated teachers training will bring new dimensions into teaching as a whole, not only language but also other tools they are going to use. And of course, Sanskrit learning will also see a big changes in near future.
Thank you. I would like to say a few words. I was struck by one remark you did, that there was some anguish of the researchers with this upcoming of artificial intelligence, which is very, very frightening in some way. Yes, this is. We have been working on Sanskrit computational linguistics with lots of hope and hard work for 20 years. And now ChatGPT is just 1 year old, yes, and it's doing feats that we could not imagine we could accomplish a year ago. So there is a big fear. There is a double fear, actually. There is a fear, are we going to be irrelevant? Yes, this is one fear. And another fear is that we don't really understand how these AI systems work. Yes, we get the results, but we don't have a concrete, exact explanation of how the system came up with its answers. Okay, so here the fear is actually, is it a mirage? Are we mesmerized by these systems and going into big trouble because we don't understand what's going on? So I would like to give some hope, because I think this is where this rule-based and exact methods can help, is that progressively we'll address this problem and find explanations of the tool And then the tool will be a genuine, useful tool that we will be able to trust. So this will need a lot of efforts. And we have all these bright students, a new generation, as you said, that will come and hopefully solve this problem. So I would like to end on this optimistic note. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.